Good morning, good morning, good morning. I don't know what happened. Oh, must have been on the wrong thing. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hoping and praying everybody's in their best mood on this morning. How y'all doing this morning? Double tap. That is, hey, listen, it's funny. It's funny, y'all, because I just told y'all this, right? I said if I take it off of subscribers and I go live on the gram, and I told y'all how fast it'll pop up. It just did it. Soon as it's open, there they go right there. There they go right there. Been missing them all in devotion. Ain't made it to damn devotion, but here they go. There you go. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How y'all doing this morning? What's happening on my screen as you guys are coming into the room. Hoping and praying that you guys are in y'all best mood on today. How y'all doing this morning? Good morning to you, Kelly. How are you? Lizzie Johnson, good morning. Big White 74, good morning to you. Hey, Fun Size. How you doing this morning? Thank you so much. I see you over there, Lori Taylor. Good morning to you. How y'all doing, man? I know this is unusual. Y'all like, wait a minute, what we doing? We don't normally be in here on a Saturday. No. Normally we are not live like this on a Saturday, but because I was out of town this week. So I just came on Saturday so that we can get caught up and we won't be far behind in our story. Thank you so much, Gigi McGross. I appreciate you for that badge this morning. Grand Rising, Rich Rising, happy new day to each and every one of you guys. Hoping and praying y'all in y'all best mood. How you doing, Lily? What's going on with you? Special edition. You better know it. You better know it, man. Are y'all excited? Because I'm super excited right now. I just need to know, are y'all excited? Are y'all as excited as me? I'm about to grab it right now, Crystal Love. I'm grabbing it right now. Got it, pen. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Y'all double tapping on my screen. Let's go ahead and reach our goals while I got to run grab my water real quick and I'm going to come right back. Happy November to everybody. Happy November. It's getting chilly in here too. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's started getting chilly. In this garage now. During the summertime, it get hot up in here, but during the wintertime, it get cold. So you be up in here, you be like, oh my God, it gets a little bit chilly in here. I know y'all gonna thank you so much, Krista. I appreciate you, sweetheart. Thank you for that CA this morning. I know y'all gonna think that, wait a minute, Coach got OCD, but I don't, right? I'm just used to seeing you guys on a certain side. So what I'm gonna have to do, I'm gonna have to swap y'all around real quick, okay? So y'all just give me 1 second. Let me just move. Let me just put y'all on this side where y'all go and put y'all over here where y'all go. Now that's a whole lot better. I'm used to seeing, you know what I'm saying? I'm used to seeing the gram on one side, TikTok on the other side, and Facebook right there in the middle. There we go. So I'm used to seeing everybody on their own sides. And when I look at it like that, it was just like, wait a minute, who you talking to? Good morning, Grand Rising, Rich Rising, man said, thought it was man, listen, yeah, I had to switch us around a little bit. It's all good, man. But y'all know we started talking about Tamar. Right, Tamar and Amon, who it happens to be King David's kids, right? That's what we've been talking about all week. And I just want to say before I get back into the story, because I do realize that this story has been, this has been heavy. This has been really, really heavy because you have to think that a lot of times this is not the conversation that a lot of people want to have. Right, this is what we've been taught. We've been taught to keep quiet on these type of matters. Thank you so much, Benny Simpson. We've been taught to be quiet on these type of matters, to sweep these type of matters up under the rug, to keep these type of matters within the family and stuff like that. And because of the image, not wanting to ruin the image, not wanting to ruin the reputation, not wanting people to be looking at you a certain type of way. Right, this is what we've been taught, and we've been taught this a long time. So I do realize that me teaching this is kind of like, man, I didn't know she was going to go into it like that. I didn't know that's the type of, but to be real with you, these are the conversations that we as a people, we have to start having, right? We have to start having these hard conversations. We have to start having these difficult conversations. We have to start being open and being honest about things and what took place in certain situations, because if we are not opening up and being honest about these things, and guess what? Then it's going to continue. Understand me? Then it's going to continue. And then we start wondering why so many people oh, wait, well, no, you know what we'll say? Why ain't nobody said nothing? Why ain't nobody ever said nothing? And how I get to be that many people? You know what I'm saying? After the fact, we have become this group of people that are so reactive that we don't take nothing serious until it becomes a really big problem. We don't see things as important until it becomes a really big problem, right? And by the time that we actually get a hold of that thing, you know what I mean? It's then cause a whole big old fuss over there, like a big old fuss, like you got stuff all over the place. And I'm just saying that in the season that we're in life right now, y'all, let's become a group of proactive people. Let's start handling things when we first see that there's a potential. It doesn't even have to be a problem just yet. Understand me, operating with that proactive approach, which is what we learned in boot camp, operating with that proactive approach is going to be something that's going to stop something when it's just simply a potential. When I see that this could be a problem, if I see that this could transpire into something else, if I see this could escalate in any type of way, shape, or form, let's start handling those things right then and there instead of waiting until it gets all the way out of control and then now everybody's running around in a panic. You know what I'm saying? We have to handle things right then and there. And we be going through the absolute most because majority of the time what we be doing is, right, we just be brushing it off. We just be sliding to the side. We just be acting like it ain't never been this. It ain't never been that. Like, come on. Like, come on. Let's be real. Come on. Good morning, inspiring queen. How you doing this morning? Yeah, we have to become a group of people that are proactive, not reactive, but proactive. Reactive is always waiting until it's a problem before we start trying to address it. Waiting until it's a big old issue before we start trying to address it. And we have to get away from that. We have to get away from that. And I'm going to tell you what happens in these situations, right? Not only does it become something bigger to clean up, it also, if you don't handle it the right way, then that's exactly the reason why you see so many people fall out. When you like, oh, family just ain't how the family used to be and people just ain't how the people used to be. No, understand me, because now ain't nobody putting up with that. Nobody's gonna sit over there and tolerate that. Nobody about to let you just treat them no any kind of way and then just stay up in your life. Ain't nobody about to let you just walk all over them and then still stay right there connected to you. Ain't nobody about to be running after you, begging you for no friendship, for no relationship, no familyship, no none of that. Now people have gotten to a point where, understand me, there's a lot of information out here now. There's a lot of information. There's a lot of different avenues where people can go, understand me, and know, hey, look, I'm not the problem. And people are definitely seeking help. They're getting life coaches. They're getting accountability coaches. Understand? They're getting wellness coaches. They're getting therapists now. And they're like, wait a minute. All these years, I'm thinking that I'm the problem. All these years, I'm thinking that I'm the issue. And you mean to tell me the problem ain't me, it's them? Hello? That's the enemy's job. The enemy's job is to convince you that you are the problem. The enemy's job is to convince you that you are the reason why whatever's happening is happening, even though it's happening to you. And now you sitting over there, you're like, wait a minute, how is it that I'm causing all of this self-hurt? How am I causing all of this self-pain? What is it that I'm doing that's putting me in this situation? This ain't got nothing to do with you. This has every single thing to do with them. But that's what the enemy's job is, to do what? Deceive. That's what a deceiver does, right? When you think about it, come on, let's be real. Is that not the nature of a deceiver? Is that not the nature of a deceiver? A deceiver's job is to deceive you, right? So if I can trick you into thinking that you're responsible for the hurt that I brought to you, then you're going to be more prone to stay right there with me because you think that it's your fault. Understand me, you're going to be the one that's going to try to make sure, understand me, that I always feel bad, that I always feel sad, that I always feel worthless, that I'll never see any value inside of my myself, because if I see it that way, then I'll sit right here by you. And what happens in that situation is you lose all sense of self. When you operate that way, you lose all sense of self. So when you say, I'm in a relationship and I done lost myself, I don't know who I am anymore, I don't know if I'm coming or going, and I just don't know my favorite color, my favorite food, my favorite pastime, I just don't know nothing no more. You don't know nothing no more because you've become everything that they wanted you to become. You lost your whole entire identity. And that's exactly what the enemy wants you to do. He wants to rob you of your true identity. Come and watch this, Kira. He wants to do what? He wants to rob you of your true identity. Understand me? Come on. Because I need for you to know that he wants to rob you of your true identity. Because if you knew your true identity, then you would know that you are way more powerful than what you thought that you were. Hello? Yeah. See, everybody is not going to get that. Wait a minute. Hey, Kalia, some folk that's going to skip past their head. They're not going to grab that. I need for you to know that the enemy wants to rob you of your identity, because if he robs you of your identity, then you will not know who you are. Understand me? In Christ. Understand me? So if I can beat you down to the point where you lose yourself, if I can beat you down to the point where you feel worthless, if I can beat you down to the point where you feel like you don't add no value, that the world would be way more better if you wasn't in it, if I can trick you into thinking that about yourself, then guess what? Then he wins. And the whole other time, it's deception. All of that is nothing but a big ball of deception. All he's doing in that moment is he's more emotionally and mentally, understand me, emotionally, I need that in your notes, emotionally and mentally, he's manipulating you. That's emotionally and mentally, he's manipulating you. He's destroying your confidence and your self-esteem. That's what he's doing in that moment. That's the goal. Because if I can break you down to the point where you don't see yourself as worthy, if I can break you down to the point where you don't see yourself as capable, then guess what you'll do? You'll become codependent on me. And that's a narcissist's dream. Hey, you heavy on a Saturday. Wait a minute. This is the day of rest. We normally be out here resting when we don't be on no live, but you on Saturday. Why are you on here with this day? Yeah. Get your house coat tied up in the front. It might get a little worse, baby. Don't worry about the wig. You ain't got to put it on today. Sling that thing all across the room if need be. Okay? You got your slippers on, your house shoes on. It's okay. They ain't got that hard heel on that. Sling it across there, baby. Tell the doggies to move out the way. Understand me? You might get to throwing some stuff today. I want you to understand that's the enemy's, that's his tactic. That's a narcissist's dream right there, right? For you to become an individual that's codependent on them. Is that my right purpose for my pain? That's what they want you to do. They want you to become codependent on them. So before you make a move, before you do anything, before you make any decision in your life, it's like you got to give their acceptance or their approval first, right? Before you do so. That's a person that have lost their own identity. You've lost your own identity through the things that you're going through, right? And the enemy, that's one of his strongest tactics. Not his only one, but that's one of his strongest ones right there, is to beat you down to the point where you don't know who you are. Well, coach, why do you say that though? Because if you knew who you were, if you knew you was a chosen people, if you knew you was of a royal priesthood, if you knew that, understand me, that you were made a little less than an angel, understand me, this is scripture. Understand me, if you knew that you was made a little less than an angel, would you be out here letting folk just walk all over you? If you knew that you was made, I'm talking, if you knew you was made a little less than an angel, would you really be out here, understand me, allowing people to treat you in any kind of way? Would you allow the things that's been going on in your life, would you continue to allow those things to go on in your life when you step back and say, wait a minute, what does God say about me? He says, hey, look, you are royal people. You are a royal priesthood. Understand Understand me? You are chosen. You are mine. Understand me? When he sees you as his own. When he disciplines you like a parent that disciplines their child. Understand me? When he provides for you like a parent is supposed to provide for their child. Understand me? This is what he's saying. He says, listen, I'm the shepherd and you're the sheep of my pastor. Understand me? I'm out here every single day, and guess what I do? I got my spirit of discernment that works alongside me. And guess what I do? I love you so much that I got one of them canes that the grandmama used to have back in the day, right? They got the little hook on it, and every time that you get out of alignment, I bring you back over here. Bring you back over here. Why you think the shepherd's stick have that curve on it? Because every time one of the sheep get out of alignment, he does what? He just grab them by the neck, pull them on back over into the line with the rest of the sheep. And this is what God is saying. I love you so much that I sent something to you to make sure that you have guidance all along this journey. You are never by yourself. Understand me? I'm always right there. This is what I'm not present. I'm everywhere all at once. This is what he's saying. And you mean to tell me you are here scared and wanting their validation when I can give you guidance? I don't just give you guidance. I give you guidance and insight. Hey. Oh, come on. He says, I don't just give you guidance. I give you guidance and I also give you insight, because when you're operating with that spirit of discernment, that's exactly what it does. It gives you insight. You start to see it before it actually happens. When you start operating with Christ conscious, it does what? It strengthens what? What does it strengthen? What does it strengthen? It strengthens that gut feeling, your intuition. When you're starting to operate with Christ conscious, it starts to do what? It strengthens your gut, that gut feeling, your intuition. All of a sudden, you can feel it before it happened. You daydream it before it happened. And then even at night, it plays itself out all the way. Before it even happens in real life, you've already experienced everything that's attached to that. Understand me? And some of us, you can have a dream and it be so real for you that you actually wake up in a sweat. Or you wake up and you got tears coming down your eyes. You wake up and it felt so real to you. You like, whatever it is that's about to happen, it's going to be something that's going to happen. And I know that it's going to happen because I know that right there, that was just too real. And you let it go and you go on about your day. And then the next day or a week from now or a month from now, then guess what? That very thing that you dreamed about, here it come to pass. Now that thing then happened. And guess what? The energy that you would have given it, if it would have been brand new to you, it ain't the energy that you give it today. Why? Because you felt everything that you were going to go through. You felt that in a dream already. All of that shockness, that piercing in your soul, the hurt that you was going to feel towards it, it don't feel the same because you've already went through those emotions. That's God's way of protecting you. Yeah, it happens. It happens. You'll be looking at, you'll be like, wait a minute, hold on, like it don't hurt like how it used to hurt. It don't feel like how you thought that it was gonna feel. So when that rubber hit the road and it all falls out right there in your face, you feel away, but you don't. Understand me? You don't give them the response that they thought that you was gonna give them because you was already emotionally prepared. You was already mentally prepared. Understand me? You had already seen this right here coming. That's the insight. Understand me? God don't just give you guidance, but he also gives you insight. He lets you know that this is what it's going to be before it always get there. This is why it's so important for you to trust him, to rely on him, and to lean to him, not to yourself. I'm gonna tell you, it's very important. It's very important because if the enemy could trick you into thinking that you are not nothing, that you ain't worth nothing, if the enemy can trick you into thinking that you're not deserving, if the enemy can trick you into thinking that you're not good enough, then guess what he'll do? He'll do it every single time. He will do it every single time. That's what his job is. That's what his makeup is. All he wants to do is make sure that he keeps you disconnected from Christ. Anything that I can do to pull you out of alignment, anything that I can do to make you question this relationship, to make you think that right there don't work the way that you thought that it was going to work, it ain't going to give what you thought that it was. Oh yeah, anything he can do, that's what he's going to do. Why? Because the Bible calls him an accuser. accuser. He's an accuser. All he does is accuse people of stuff all day long. Every time I turn around, he back up in heaven whining and crying about something. Every single time I turn around, he back up there in God's face. I'm like, I did not tell you. Well, look at your people. And did not, you know what I'm saying? You know how it is when you done already laid them off. They done got laid off, and they come back up there and say, well, I got more seniority than so and so. Why you ain't lay them off too? Oh, well, wait a minute. You told me that I was gonna be, yeah, you know, that type of person. You like, listen, maybe it was just your department. Maybe it was your work ethic. Maybe you wasn't making production. You have all these other things that also play a factor into why you had to go before them. But you always got that accuser. This is why I tell y'all, when the more that you grow, the more that you evolve in Christ. Come on, Lily. Because you know, you like, man, what, you know what? You know, that's a good example, but where you get that from? But listen, I'm telling you, the more that you grow in Christ, the more that you see everything as a spiritual thing, right? Because before, we'll be looking at them and saying, you a hater. You such a hater because why you want them to get fired because you got fired? Why you want them to be furloughed because you got furloughed? Now when I see people behave that way, I look at them and I be like, oh wow, you the accuser, huh? yeah, look at you. You know what I'm saying? You start saying random shit. I'm telling y'all, the moment that you continue to grow and evolve, these things just naturally happen because now you're seeing things from a spiritual sense, right? You're seeing it from a spiritual sense, not a worldly sense. So when people say things and do certain things, right, now you see it from a way that you didn't see it before, and it doesn't get the reaction out of you that it used to get out of you because your mindset is completely different. And like I told the Chosen family before, I said it'll also get you to a place, right? It'll get you to a place in life where, understand this right here, you used to be mad at a person and you'll be so mad at that individual, so upset with that individual and all of that. That was your old behavior. Your old behavior was you would be extremely upset with that individual and all of this different stuff, right? But then the more that you're growing and start evolving in Christ, you no longer get upset with those folks. You feel what? You feel bad for them. I feel bad that you feel that way, that you think that way, that you think the way that you're thinking and the way that you live. I feel bad that you think that that's okay. I feel bad that you don't have that. When the Bible say be slow to anger, hey, now that's word. The more that you're growing and evolving in Christ, one of the things that you will start to learn about yourself is that you will become an individual that is very slow to anger. Things don't bother you like how it used to bother you. Things don't get up under your skin. Come on, royalty. For real, it just don't get up under your skin the way that it used to get up under your skin. People will go outside of their way trying to frustrate you. Folk will go outside of their way trying to piss you off. And you'll be looking at them like, baby, understand me. I need for you to relax a little bit because you're going to hurt your own feelings trying to hurt mine. You trying to ruin my day and you about to have a bad day yourself, and that's going to be all on you because the response that you want from me, you're not going to get. The energy that you want from me, you're not going to get. Understand me, I have outgrown that, and you feel bad when you look at them wasting their time and their energy that way. Like, nah, you have to go and bother somebody that you can actually get to on that level. I'm not giving you that. I'm not giving you my attention. I'm not giving you my good day. I'm not giving you my good mood. We're not about to play that game, right? And this is how you have to show up. And when I say show up this way, I'm talking about you have to show up this way every single day. Every single day. Understand me, because there are some folk that's all that they want. They want your good mood. They want your good day. They want your good energy. They will do anything that they possibly can to ruin the person that you are. They'll do what, coach? They'll do anything that they possibly can to ruin the person that you are. And don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted, and don't start thinking that it'll only happen with people on the outside, because it'll be the same folk that you love. It'll be the same folk that you're willing to do anything for. It'll be the same folk that you will make all those sacrifices for. They'll be the main ones, and you'll be looking at them like, wait a minute, I'm doing everything in my power to help you. I'm going outside my way to help you. How in the world are you behaving like this? I expected this for somebody else, but not from you. Oh yeah, that be the family. That be the family. Oh, you expect, yeah. This is what I tell y'all every single time. Stop giving 2 and 3 different sets of rules. Your boundaries have to be what? Put it inside the chats. Double tap on my screen. Can we get 5 badges on the gram? Can we get 5 badges on the gram? Can we get 200 on the book? Let's get 200 on the book real quick. Double tapping on that screen. We are at 39.5K. Let's go ahead and get up to 50K on TikTok. Double tapping on the screen. Let's get the love going. I know it's Saturday and y'all ain't used to being here on a Saturday, but hey, look, we got to be willing to try some new stuff. I got to make sure this word get out. Double tapping fair all the way across the board. You cannot have a separate set of rules for people that's in your life. You have to hold everybody to the same standard. You have to hold everybody accountable the same exact way, because if you're not holding everybody accountable, thank you so much, Candace Bash. I appreciate you. Michelle, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Malika, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Gigi McGrose. Let's go. Double tapping on the screen. Good morning to Keisha. How you doing this morning, sweetheart? Inspiring Queen tapping in. Thank you so much, Sophia. I appreciate you. We at 42.7. We're going to get to 50K. We're going to get to 50K. I want you to know real quick, this is the thing, right? Because when you create separate sets of rules, separate sets of boundaries for different people, what happens is you create drama and chaos in your own life. Now you got people that are bickering because they say when they talk to you crazy, you excuse it. But then when I say something to you crazy, then you want to get all mad. Then you want to fuss. Then you want to go back and forth. Why you didn't give them the same energy that you gave me? Why you didn't show out on them the way you showed out on me? When it's come down to me, you ready to say this, this, and this. But then if they do it to you, then you don't say nothing at all. That's what happens when you create separate sets of rules and boundaries. This is why it has to be fair and it has to be consistent with everybody. When I say nobody ain't yelling at me, I mean that. When I say nobody's not walking all over me, I mean that. Seaborn, appreciate you so much. When I say ain't nobody in and out my life, this is not a revolving door over here, I mean that. That right there, that goes for everybody. And when they disrespect that boundary, then you do what? You have to hold them accountable. If I say that I'm not dealing with you no more, that's exactly what I mean. Seaborn too, appreciate you so much, sweetheart. When I say that when you disrespect my boundary, it's going to be snip, snip. That's exactly what I mean. Hey, come here. Thank y'all so much, TikTok. I see all the follows happening over there. Appreciate y'all. I'm trying to get to that 1.3K, that 1.3 million. Trying to reach 1.3 million. So appreciate everybody that's over there. If this is your first time here, please make sure you hit that follow button. Let's get to it. Understand that, right? So I need for you to understand that that's how that happens. And when you do that, now everybody mad. Everybody in their feelings because every time such and such do this and such do that. No, when I tell you that if you disrespect my boundary, then we're done, then guess what? The moment that you disrespect my boundary, then we are really done. Because if we're not done when you disrespect my boundary, then what happens? What happens, chosen family? What happens, I want you to hit, I want to see it. What happens when they disrespect your boundary and you don't honor your boundary? What happens in that moment? What happens if you do not honor your boundary? I told you guys this already. I told y'all this. I want to say this was in this quarter. There was a part of this quarter's teaching. What happens in that situation when you do not honor your own boundary? That's right, Shay. You will suffer. That's a good one. That self-sabotagement. That's a good one, Crystal Love. Yeah. Y'all on the right road. You show them how to. You definitely show them how to love you, but that's not it. That's not it. Y'all on the right road when you say. Women said, yes, Candace, they sure will. They will do it again. They're gonna continue to disrespect you. What happens when you don't honor your boundary is you tell you that you are a liar. What happens when you disrespect your own boundary by not holding people accountable, you tell you that you are a liar. So in another trick of the enemy. Because why do you say that like that, Coach? You tell yourself that you're a liar. And when you say that you can't trust you, then you lose. Yeah, every time that you lie to you, You lose a piece of your self-trust. It's just like it's chipping away. Every time that you say that you're going to do something and you do not do it, you do not hold yourself accountable. That's right. Guess what happened? You chip away at your self-trust. So when you get to that place where you say, I don't trust myself to make the right decision, the reason why you don't trust yourself the way that you should trust yourself is because you know nobody has to say this to you. Nobody, wait, thank you so much, friend. Say great message. I appreciate you. I ain't even got started yet, but thank you. Listen, I want you to know this though. I want you to know this. When what happened in this situation is when you start showing yourself that you are a liar, then now you're destroying your own self-trust. Now you don't even trust yourself to make the right decisions, right? So now what happens when you don't trust yourself to make the right decision? You become codependent on somebody else to make the decision for you, right? So you sit there and you wait on them to say, yes, you should do it, or no, you shouldn't do it. You wait on them to come and give you the green light or the go ahead. So you become a puppet in life. You just moving and moving and doing everything according to what string is being pulled in your life. Understand me. This is how important honoring your boundaries really and truly is. This is how important it is to make sure that you are honest and you are transparent with yourself. Understand me. It's nothing like being a liar to yourself. It's nothing like not being transparent to yourself, because then when you look at yourself, self looking back at you and saying like, you lying to me and I was with you. I'm with you 24 hours a day. Everything that you do, we do it right here together. Do you know why your thoughts are so loud? Your thoughts are so loud because you're lying to me, and I'm telling you that I see the lie. I'm telling you that I see through the lie. The war that you have is an internal war, because self is saying you deserve more than this, and then you're saying, well, I really don't. I don't know. Yeah, yourself is like, wait a minute. I need you to snap up out of this. I'm ready to grow. I'm ready to evolve. And then the other part is saying, well, you ain't really ready to go because you know that's what that's going to require. All of that is internal. That ain't a hater. That's self-hate. A lot of times we don't move forward and we don't live the life that we're supposed to be living, not because of other people, but because of ourselves. Understand that. Not because of other people. Thank you so much, Candace. But because of ourselves. Understand me. You have to be willing. Y'all ain't gonna like this part. It's gonna be sometimes in your life where you're gonna have to go against you. And that, yeah, hey, you got to been here like around 2022, 2023. When I said, well, pull that chair up to that mirror. Sometimes you have to be real honest with yourself. Understand me. Yeah. Sometimes you have to go against you. You know, have you ever seen somebody say, well, I went against my better judgment. I went against my better judgment. They thought that it was going against their better judgment. And then all of a sudden, everything that they needed to happen, baby, your judgment and God's judgment ain't the same. Understand me. Your best judgment ain't on his level. He says, as far as the earth is from the heavens, that's how far my thoughts are from yours. Even your best judgment ain't good enough. Understand me? Yeah, this is real rap. This is in the book. Understand me? So in other words, what I'm saying to you is sometimes you think that you got it all the way together, that you think that you got it all the way mapped out, that you think that you got all them ducks in a row and everything, all of that hard work, all of that dedication, all of that commitment. Watch this, inspiring queen. You did all of that, and now you laid back with your hands behind your head, and you just feel so confident, like that thing right there gonna work out for you, and then you get the call that it didn't. It's like, oh, well, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? Oh my God, I can't believe that this is happening. Oh my God, I can't believe this isn't that. No, you did that right. It's just wrong for you. That's your preference. That's your intellect. That's what you wanted to do. God said, but when you laid down last night, you said you surrendered. You said you surrendered your will for mine. And even though that right there is really good, it's just not good for you. Can you handle that? When you done all of that, hello, when you done all of that, say, the problem ain't in what you done. The problem is in the fact that what you done ain't for you. As perfectly as you line those ducks up in a row, and they look beautiful over there, yellow and shiny. The ducks is all lined up, they looking beautiful, beaks all polished and all of that. But the truth of the matter is that right there, that's not what I created for you. That's not the life that I created you for. That's not what I want you to be doing. And you have to go against you. You have to walk away from what it is that's your preference in order for you to operate in purpose. You have to step away from the norm and step into that unfamiliar ground. You have to, like I tell you all the time, is what? You have to be a risk taker. You have to be a trailblazer. You have to be a one of one. Understand me? I'm going to go even if I got to go by myself. I'm going to do it if I got to do it by myself. Understand me? If it's just me standing, just know that I'm willing to stand alone. That's what it's like when you're operating in purpose, because there will be times in your life where you're going to have to do what? You're going to have to stand alone. Why? Because the people that you're surrounded by, they don't see the vision. They don't see the vision. They don't understand the vision, cannot wrap their mind around the vision. Understand me? And there will be some folk, Geneva, thank you so much for the CA, sweetheart. Some folk, they'll understand the vision. They'll see the vision. They'll know exactly what you're doing. But guess what? They won't believe in it. Hey now, come here, Tasha. Yeah. What you say? Oh yeah, they'll see everything that you're doing, and it sounds really nice. It sounds really nice, but the truth of the matter is, oh no. I just don't believe in that. And you have to be willing to walk right on away from that. Thank you so much, Inspiring Queen. You have to be willing to walk away from it. You have to be willing to cut ties with it. Period, point blank. Your purpose journey, your spiritual journey, your healing journey, your developmental journey, I need for you to fully understand that it's going to come with some gifts of goodbyes. It's going to come with some disappointments. It's going to come with some folk, understand me, that they love you so much that they will hurt you. Understand me, because of the fact, I don't want to see that, right? I don't even want to see how that's going to pan out. You know what I mean? You're going to have some people in your life that is, I don't even want to see you be successful. I don't want to see you be happy. I don't want to see you have joy. I don't want to see you with somebody else. They be so caught up in everything that is you. Obsession. Become a big obsession. Anything that got something to do with you, they over your shoulder with it. Please don't let them in. Please don't let them in. It's like, man, if you put the amount of effort into your own life that you try to put into mine, imagine where you will be. And sometimes the folk that you would think would want you to win or would want the best for your life, you would think that it would be family. You would be thinking that it would be people that you were brought up in the same house with, the same folk that loved you, the same folk that understood the struggle, the same folk that was in the same sandbox with you, the same folk that you had to share a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with, cut it down the middle, you get a piece and I get a piece, the same ones that you took a bath in the same bath water with, understand me, and at times back in the day, you had to share the same washcloth and the same towel. They would put one in and wash that one, get them out, dry them off, and then get the next cousin, put them in, or the next sister, or the next brother, put them in and get them out and go ahead and dry them off. Understand me, you would think that these would be the very ones that would want to see you win, that would want to see you grow. You would think that yeah, come on. Because you know my struggle. Because you know my pain. Because you know what I went through, right? Don't nothing hurt you like somebody that damaged you, betrayed you, and they knew everything that you had gone through. Don't nothing hurt you more than dealing with a person that hurt you after knowing everything that you had already gone through. You hurt me fully knowing, being fully aware of what it was going to do, and you did it anyway. Don't nothing damage you like that right there. Don't nothing damage you like when you, wait a minute. It's one thing when they don't know, though, Cook. When they don't, yeah, that's all I'm saying. It's one thing when they don't know. When they don't know what you've been through, or when they don't know, you know what I'm saying, how it's going to affect you. When they don't know, it's one thing. It's one thing when they don't know. But it's a whole nother thing when you knew that what you were going to do was going to damage me. It was going to rob me of my future. When you knew that it was going to destroy everything that was me. It's another thing. That type of hurt, that type of betrayal, that type of letdown though. Oh my God, that does something inside of your soul. That makes it hard to function. That makes it hard to think clearly. That makes it very hard. Understand that it's one thing to make a mistake you did not know, and you show grace because I know that you did not know that was going to be a problem. But it's another thing. It's another thing when you knew full well that what you were doing was wrong. When you knew it was wrong, you were knowledgeable of the consequences of that particular thing, and you decided to do it anyway. It's hard to come back from that. Oh, come here, come here, come here, come here. I'm over in Samuel. It's hard to come back from that. It really and truly is. It's hard to come back from that. Now, big ups to, I didn't catch her name, the lady that I met in Rock Hill, South Carolina yesterday. I didn't catch her name, but she walked up to me while we were out there with the kids and we were passing out stuff. And she said to me, I had this story that I was going to be teaching for months before I actually decided to teach it. And I was hesitant because of the content. And she walked up to me and she said, thank you. Thank you for teaching what you're teaching this week. And I said, huh? She said, I was touched when I was younger. And what you're teaching is everything that I went through. And I want to tell you that, I came out here to tell you that I feel freer. I feel seen. I feel so much like I'm going to be watching. I'm going to be watching for the rest of this week because I want to know the rest. I want to know the rest. And I just want to say to you, I didn't get your name, but I love you. Thank you so much for coming out just to pour back into me. I want you to know that I definitely prayed hard for you and still praying hard for you, and that this is not the end. It's not the end. And I know that sometimes when we go through these different types of situations, that's exactly how it can feel, right? When you experience this type of violation, you know what I'm saying, especially from somebody that you love, somebody that's in your family, I definitely can understand why it would shut a person down. But I just want you to know that I love you, that you are seen, that you are heard, that you are valuable. And I thank God that you did not give up on life. I thank God that you're, you know what I'm saying, still pushing forward. And I just want to tell you, you know what I'm saying, like, we're here for you, really and truly. So we over here in the book of Samuel, right? And it's going to be 1 Samuel is where we at, y'all. We in 1 Samuel, and I'm going to go down to, I'm going to start right here at, I'm going to start... I'm going to start at the 12th verse. 2 Samuel chapter 13, and we over here on the 12th verse where Tamar is telling her brother. So quick summary real quick. What's happened in this situation is you have Tamar and you have Amnon. These two are half brother and sister. These two are the children of King David. King David, slaying Goliath, David, anointed, you know what I'm saying, on the head in front of his brothers, David, the same David that we read all the beautiful stories about, David, the same David who was with Bathsheba, David, that's the David that we're talking about. These is his children, right? Well, these are his children. Amon happens to be his first son that was born to him by a woman named Giselle, and then Tamar happens to be his daughter, born to him by a female named Mecca. Tamar is a Israelite princess. This is who she is, right? This is David's daughter and David's son. And in this story, what has happened is David's son, Amon, has become in love with his sister Tamar. But we learned on yesterday that it wasn't love at all, that it was all lust, right? Because I broke down the difference in between love and lust, and I explained to you that his behavior is in the same realm of lust, not love, right? Because love don't do what this guy Amon went over here and done, right? So this is what's happening. So Amon and his cousin, they concoct a story, a plan, a scheme, that way that Amon can actually lay with his sister. So he says, call your daddy, tell your daddy that you are sick, have him send in Tamar to come cook you some food, and that way you two can actually be alone. Ammon follows the plan. Called King David to access King. They tell King David, he's sick. Asked him, can you send my sister Tamar? Can you send Tamar to come cook me some bread or some whatever so that I can eat it from her hand? Tamar goes over to the house to do just that, right? To make sure that her brother is, got the food that he needs. He said, well, bring it to me in my room. She takes it to him in the room. And when he go to take it to him in the room, he grabs her hand. When he grabs her hand, we in verse 12 right now. She says, no, my brother. She said to him, don't force me. Such a thing should not be done in Israel. Do not do this wicked thing. She's letting him know right then and there that this right here, this is wicked. This is a wicked thing. This is a law. This is disobeying the law. Remember, our father is the king. He's the one that's supposed to be upholding the law. There's no way that, you should do this. She begged him, understand me, not to do what it was that he was about to do. So then she says, no, don't do such a wicked thing. I then go back to find out why she said in Israel, though, because that part stuck out to me. So then I went to Leviticus 18:9, and it says, do not have sexual relations with your sister, either your father's daughter or your mother's daughter, whether they was born in the same house or elsewhere. In other words, in Israel, this right here, in Israel, this was all the way against the law. This is not something that you should do, period, point blank. Whether you in the palace or you in the village, this right here was against the law. This right here should have never taken place. And she's educating her brother. But now keep in mind, I told you that Ammon was who? He was David's first son, which also means that he was the heir, right? He was going to inherit everything that was this family. So Ammon was shown favoritism because he was the firstborn son. Because he was David's first son, he was shown special privileges, right? They would do certain things and excuse certain behaviors from him because of the relation, right? Because he was that first son. Not the only son, but he was the first one. Which meant everything that was David was going to go to him. So he was given special privileges, right? The special treatment because of that. Tamar goes on to say, what about me? Verse 13. What about me? Where can I go to get rid of my disgrace? And what about you? You would be like a wicked fool in Israel. Please speak to the king. We will not keep me from being married to you. Now that right there, I paused on yesterday and I said, ain't that something how your kids know you? Ain't that something, Cook? How your children will know you? They'll know your behavior. Now, if in Leviticus, it already says that you're not supposed to sleep with your relatives, right? Your siblings, if it already says that in Leviticus, why in the world would you tell your brother to go and go talk to your daddy, who is the king, and surely he won't keep you from marrying him? Why would he do that if we already know that right there, that's against the law? Thank you, Rashida. I appreciate you. If we already know that that's against the law, then why would your daddy allow that? Because we have to look at the character of the king. This is King David. Remember, King David was the type of person that did what? He would break the law to get what it was that he wanted. Understand me? He will unalive folk to be able to get what it was that he wanted. He was even at a point an emotionally driven individual when he went chasing out the right, and had all their stuff taken. Remember, he didn't even have to go out there. He chose to go out there because he had got sick and tired of Saul bothering him. So then he decided, I'm gonna go with y'all, right? So we know that this is the nature of David. David was this type of individual, even though he was anointed, understand me, and being used by God, he still had a lot of stuff that was still in him. Understand that he still had a lot of stuff that was in him, and we know that, right? Because when Naaman was talking to him, right, he says, hey, look, Naaman had to talk to David in third person. David was so full of himself that he had to talk to him in third person. So full of his pride and his ego, because he had been winning for so long. He didn't slay lions, tigers, and bears. He didn't went out there. You don't understand me. He didn't got blessed in front of all of his brothers. He didn't went over there and took a slingshot and 5 rocks and took down Goliath, then took Goliath's sword and beheaded the Goliath out there and brought it back to show. Understand me. He feeling himself. David had got so full of himself that he had to talk to David in third person. He had to describe a man right there in front of David. David heard everything that he was saying to him and was disgusted. He said, who is this man? He must go down. We must take him all the way out. Understand me? He was so prideful, so ego-driven, so entitled. Hold on to the thought entitled. Lock that in your mind. Put that inside of your notes, right? Put it in your notes. Make sure that it's in there. He was so entitled. He felt so entitled and all of these emotions. He says, who is this man? He must go down. And he looked at me and says, you are the man. The man that I'm describing to you, that you're disgusted by, it's you. You done got so far out of alignment, so far away from God that it don't make no sense, David. Yeah, you still kinging it. You still got stuff going on. Things are still happening for you. But it ain't what God wants for you. Sometimes we don't realize how out of focus we are until we all the way out of focus. Understand me? We think that just because things are still happening and doors are still opening and stuff is still coming forth, we think that, oh yeah, well, God's still in it. It's still this and it's still that. You don't even realize that you're so out of focus until you hit rock bottom and you're like, oh my God, I didn't even know I was this far gone. Oh my God, I didn't even know I had got this far out of where I was supposed to be. Understand me? And we know that could be true, right? Somebody just challenges. Somebody say bothering. Somebody, I want something, because I feel like sometimes when I say things, it's some people that say, well, I don't know about that. Just somebody tell me bother it so that I can bother it. Just tell me, just that's all I need to do. Okay, she said it, so I'm going there. I'm going there. We know that sometimes we can act out of ourselves and things will still happen even though God wasn't in it. And how do you know that, coach? Because that's exactly what happened to Moses, is it not? When God told Moses, I want you to go over there and I want you to speak to the rock. Understand me? The people were crying for water. They wanted water. And when he went over there, instead, because of his frustration, because of how mad, how angry he was, because of his emotional state, Moses went over there. Instead of him speaking to the rock, he struck the rock. That wasn't the instruction. That wasn't the instruction. But guess what happened? God still poured water from the rock, even though Moses was disobedient. Even though Moses was out of line, he still did what? Spilled water from the rock. And he let them know that even though you were disobedient, even though you did what you did, I'm not going to keep it from the people. Understand me? I'm not going to keep it from the people. I'm still going to do, well, I'm still going to give the water. But the point of it was, he was still disobedient. And God will still continue. And I'm showing you how you can still have things happen that ain't got nothing to do with God. Because God did not tell you to strike that rock. He told you to speak to the rock. In one setting, he said strike it. In another setting, he said speak to it. It was two totally different things. In one thing, he wanted to show you, okay, it's power in your action. This is the action that I want them to see. The display of your strength that's going to do this. In another thing, I want them to see. In another setting, I want them to see the strength of my word. That all you have to do is speak the words that I spoke, and the rock will cry out. Understand me? It will spill water. And because he was disobedient, he struck it instead of speaking to it. But the God that we serve is such a good God, such a gracious God. And I thank him for that. He did not hold everybody else accountable for Moses' disobedience. He still provided the water. He still provided the water anyway. See, Moses was an emotional man. Very emotional. Unlike Joshua. Joshua was a commander, remember? Very different. Don't worry about it. I'm going to teach that later. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. But I want to go back to David. I'm going back, because see, I'll be outside and we'll be on here for hours, baby. So going back over here. So I just wanted to show you how you can do something and you'll still get this, even though that's not what God wants you to do. Understand me? So Moses was completely out of line. Moses was completely disobedient. Moses ain't had no business doing what it was that he done. But God still blessed it anyway. And this is the same situation that's happening with David right now in that moment. This is the same thing that's happening with David. David thinking that just because things are still happening, right? Things are still happening. Things are still moving in my life that, oh yeah, well, I'm doing everything the right way. And the truth of the matter is he wasn't. He was very much out of line. Very much out of line. So much that when Naaman did talk to him again, he had to talk to him in third person. And he did not realize how out of focus or out of line that he was until he had that conversation. And this is what Tamar is trying to do with her brother right now. She's trying to talk some sense into him. She's trying to talk some sense into him. She's trying to educate him. She's trying to say, hey, look, what you're about to do right now, this right here is against the law, number one. Number two, you have to also understand that it's going to have you out here looking crazy. Tamar goes and says, what about me? Where could I go, you know what I'm saying, to rid myself of the disgrace? And what about you? You will be like a wicked fool in Israel. In other words, she said they're going to look at you like you're crazy. They're going to look at you like you done lost your mind. Because why would you do such a thing? Understand me. You're about to inherit the whole entire kingdom. All of this stuff is about to be yours. And you're going to risk it all for this instant gratification? You're going to risk it all just to lay with me? Even though the Bible describes Tamar as being beautiful. Not just her, but her brother as well. They were beautiful children. Understand me. So now here you are, Armand, wrapped up in all of your flesh. And you want to sleep with your sister so bad that you are willing to risk losing the whole kingdom. Hey now, I'm just telling y'all, this is what Tamar is saying. She says you're going to be like a wicked fool in Israel for the instant gratification of sleeping with your own sister. You mean to tell me that you're going to risk all of that for that? Do you see how foolish that is? Do you see how foolish that is? But when she said, go get your daddy, and your daddy would do it, she knew who her daddy was. And she's now in the situation where she's like father, like son. Your daddy is a lawbreaker. Your daddy is an unaliver. Your daddy is the same individual that would do everything that you're doing now. This is the same thing that he would do. This is, understand me, she know who she dealing with. Because if she didn't know who she was dealing with, she would have never said, go to the king and ask him and he'll marry us. Then she come down here and say, you will be a wicked fool. Please speak to the king, right? He will not keep me from marrying you. Then go down to 14, it says, he refused to listen. And since he was stronger than her, he raped her. And Amon hated her with intense hate. In fact, he hated her more than he had loved her. Amon said to her, get up and get out. In verse 1, it speaks about how much he loved her. So much. Hear this part right here. In verse 1, it talks about how much he loved her and said that he loved her so much that he made himself physically ill. Do you hear what I say? It's in verse 1, it said he loved her so much that it had made himself physically ill. He was sick with the love that he supposedly had for his sister. Now you tell me that right there ain't down bad. How in the world is you at a point in life where you think that right there is okay on any level? How in the world? I'm telling you, this is what it says. This is what it says. He loved her so much that he had became sick. Go on down. But now that you then violated her, now you done did all of this to her, now that love that you supposedly had have turned into instant hatred towards her. And it says the hatred, right? It was intense hate that he had towards her. And then he yelled at her for her to get up and get out. So then I broke down to you guys what love and lust was, right? It says lust is an intense sexual desire and physical attraction, while love involves a deeper emotional connection, caring and commitment to another person's well-being. Lust on the present and immediate for physical tongue-tied, hold on. Lust focuses on the present and immediate physical gratification, while love is more concerned and with shared future and mutual growth. So we know now by understanding what love and lust is that this guy is not loving her. It's not about love for him when it got something to do with her. When this right here got something to do with nothing but lust. Why? Because lust focuses on the present and immediate physical gratification. So as soon as he got what he wanted from her, then now all of a sudden he decides that I don't like you no more. Understand me? I don't like you no more, and I want you to get up and I want you to get out. And like I told y'all yesterday, this had absolutely nothing to do with Tamar, but it had everything to do with him. He was disgusted with himself. He was, understand me, he was disgusted with himself. He was angry with himself. He was mad at himself because he know at this point, after he done what he done, he knows that, that was all the way wrong. He knows that, oh man, now I can really get in trouble for this, or this could really go a whole nother way. All of these thoughts, all of these things is running through his mind because now he's already fulfilled the deed. And it's a lot of people that operate just like that. A lot of people, hey, if you ain't never experienced, I pray that you don't. It's a lot of people that act just like that. Hold on, right? Look at Shirley say, right? You probably know where I'm going with. It's a lot of people that act just like that. They'll go out here and they'll cheat on you. They'll lay up with somebody else, create a whole relationship with somebody else, and then they'll start to hate you. Even though you ain't never did nothing, you just the one at home. So what they'll do is they'll start trying to pick you apart. They'll go outside of their way and they'll try to find everything negative about you. They'll try to ostracize every single one of your flaws. They'll make it seem as though that the problem is you. You ain't love them enough. You ain't listen to them enough. You wasn't there enough. You wasn't affectionate enough. You didn't supply the needs enough. Oh, they will come up with everything. They will almost describe you as somebody that was supposed to be named mama or their daddy. Thank you, Miss Taylor. Can I get 4 more badges on the gram real quick? They say, oh yeah. They will go outside of their way to make it seem as though you was the scum of the earth. You was all of these negative things, and they went out and they done what they done because you was not the perfect person to be in a relationship with, and you was this and you was that. Oh yeah, but why? The problem is not you. The problem is them. No, you went out and cheated because that's what you wanted to do. You went out and slept with somebody else because that's what you wanted to do. You went out and did exactly what you wanted to do, and now that you got to come back home, you have this rage towards me that I don't deserve. You have this anger towards me that I don't deserve. You walking around here, understand me, not being what you supposed to be to me because you being everything that you need, you wanted to be out there, and now you come up in here and now you thinking that, oh yeah, you gonna treat me, yeah, y'all, okay, I'm just saying that this is real rap. It don't be you, it be them, understand me, and it be misplaced anger. Now here it is, you done did everything that you wanted to do. Thank you, Gigi McGross. You done did everything that you wanted to do. You done had your whole entire way. You done went outside of the way, did all the stuff that you wanted to do, right? Now you mad at me. Now you mad at me? How you got hatred towards me for what you did to me? How you feeling a way about me for what it is that you doing to me? Huh? Make that make sense. That's how a narcissist behave. That's how a liar, a cheat, a manipulator, that's how they work. Understand me? That right there, that's how they do. I'm trying to tell you, this is how they will move right there in your life. Look you in your face and try to make it seem as though it's your fault that they done what they done to you. That it's your fault that they moved how they moved in your life. And as if leaving you wasn't an option. As if cutting ties with you wasn't an option. As if not being in your face wasn't an option. Understand me? No, you could have left me all the way alone. You could have got all the way up out my face, all the way up out my way. Yes, I would have cried. Yes, I would have been upset for a while. Yes, I would have had to go through the healing journey just like everybody else. But at least I could say you ain't cheat on me. You done what you wanted to do, and now you want to blame me for what you did. That's the same exact thing that he's doing now. You done violated this girl. You done hurt this girl. You done let this girl down, and then you gonna turn around and all of a sudden act as though she's the problem. She's the reason that you did, like she did something to you. And if we go to this, he says, no, she said to him, sending me away would be a greater wrong than what you've already done to me. But he refused to listen to her. Like I told y'all yesterday, It's not surprising that he refused to listen to her, because he had already been refusing to listen to her because she was over there trying to talk some sense into him before he done all of that, which is also another reason of why he's so mad at her right now. He's so in his feelings with her right now because guess what? You told me all of this from the very beginning. You tried to educate me. You tried to enlighten me. You tried to persuade me. You begged and you pleaded with me for me not to do this. And guess what? And I still done it anyway. Sometimes folks be mad at you, and I'm trying to tell you, they'll get mad at you because they know that you told them. What'd you say? They be so mad and so fired up with you because you told them. Hey, sit down a second. Let me tell you this. They'll be looking at you. They'll be fired up and they'll be mad at you because you told them already. I told you this, I said that, and I stayed on you about this, and I stayed on you about that. They'll say that so much, they'll do it right. She said, bother it, and I got to bother them. They'll say, oh, you spoke this into existence. If you would have never said this, if you would have never said that, then nobody wasn't even thinking about that until you said something. They will really try to play you like you boo-boo the fool and make it seem like, oh, I only did it because you kept saying, I only did it because, if you would have never said that and you just kept on going. So I said, well, I might as well go ahead and do it because, no. Can't nobody make you go do nothing. Whatever it is that you're going to do, you're going to go do it. And the moment that they went and done the very thing that you said that they was going to do, understand me, it was because you had already sensed. Remember, I told you, you have that sense, understand me, that gut feeling. You have that intuition. They may have not already performed the act, but you already saw the signs. You saw the signs of the other interest. You saw the signs that there was something else, and they tried to play you like you was crazy. They tried to play you like you was thrown off. They tried to play you like you wasn't attentive, like you wasn't focused, like you wasn't locked in. You knew what it was before it actually spiraled all the way out of control. So you started saying things way before it even got. You should have told me to bother it, Lily. Now I'm out here. Understand me? Now here it is. You over there mad at them because talking about, oh yeah, well, you told me, you said this and you said that, so I did this and I did that. No, you did what you was already on your way to go do. I told you ahead of time that I was feeling that I was sensing that, and that was not for you to go and do that. That was so that you could correct the behavior, because if that wasn't what you meant for me to feel, then why didn't you correct that feeling? Understand me? Why didn't you correct your behavior so that I would not feel that type of energy coming up off of you? Pick up the shoes. That's just, okay. I'm just saying, folks be mad at you when you've been and told them. You've been, they try to hold you. Oh yeah, well no. The truth of the matter is you did what you done, and you done it full well, already knowing that I was warning you, that I was bringing it to your attention. I was letting you know that I felt that. I was letting you know that energy was surrounding you. I was letting you know that, and I was not letting you know that to push you into the arms of nobody else. I wasn't letting you know that because I wanted to be a nag, or I was trying to get on your nerves. I was letting you know that because I'm attentive. I was letting you know that because I'm focused, I'm locked in, and I see everything, I feel everything. So I'm letting you know this before it gets to that point. So if that's not what it is, this is your opportunity right now to go ahead and nip that in the bud. And when they don't nip it in the bud and they go out there and do that, then they come back and they try to make it seem like it's your fault. Again, I'm a manipulator, a narcissist, a toxic individual. This is how they carry on. And this is exactly what this guy Amon right now, this is exactly what he's doing. How you gonna be mad at me for something you did? How you yelling and screaming at me for something that you did? This ain't had nothing to do with me. I was over in my village minding my own business. You didn't include our daddy in your foolishness. Over here, you done concocted a whole scheme to get me over here, to violate me. Understand? Everything that happened was all on you, and now you're trying to make it seem like I'm the problem. In verse 17 says, he called his personal servant and said, get this woman out of my sight, and bolt the door after her. Not only do I want you to kick her out, understand me, not only do I want you to kick her out, I want you to lock the door behind her as well. When she she get up out of here, I want you to lock that door. I want you to lock the door. But keep in mind, you got a personal servant, right? So if you got a personal servant, why in the world did you need Tamar to come over there anyway? Why didn't you just ask your personal servant to go in there and make you some bread and get you together for your sickness? Okay, but I digress. I'm going to leave that alone. But again, he calls the personal servant, have her put out, and then tell them to do what? Bolt the door in behind her. Understand me, you will be amazed how somebody will hurt you, and after they hurt you, they try to block it out. I'm gonna drink the water. Kira, because that's messy. I'm drinking the water. I'm drinking the water because that's messy, sis. That's messy. That's messy. Hold up. What'd you say? What'd you say? Yeah, I heard you and then try to block it out. Damn. Wait a minute. You drink the water. Drink the water. Don't you do this. This is Saturday. This is not Fiery Friday. This is Saturday. This is Saturday. You gotta relax. You gotta stop doing this stuff right here. Hold on. What do you mean, Coach? They'll hurt you and then try to block it out. How you hurt me? You ever sat down and had a conversation with somebody that's then hurt you, and then they they try to act like they ain't remembered nothing that they done to you. They try to act like, I don't remember that. That right there, that ain't never happened. Ain't none of that. I don't know. And they try to look you in your face and try to play you like you crazy, like you out your mind, like you just over there making up stuff. Don't nothing upset you like a person trying to do what? Play on your intelligence when you know for a fact, I know exactly what you done. I know exactly what you said. I know exactly how you move. And sometimes you can have it right there. You can have proof. You can have it right there in black and white. And they'll still have the audacity to sit there and try to make it seem like you just making something up. Like you just trying to be hard to deal with. Like, oh yeah, you so difficult. And you always want a problem. And you always want to bring up some bad stuff. Can we just not have a good day? And why it always gotta be something with you? Oh yeah, they will try to make it seem like everything that's going on. Okay, listen, I'm just saying they will try to block it out. But yeah, I'm talking about bolting up the door. How you gonna say get up and get out and then tell your servant to bolt up the door? Even with the bolting of the door, it's not going to erase what it is that you done. And they will even try, understand me, to block it out of their own mind. Oh my God, that didn't this and that wasn't it. And you know full well that, yeah, just because you block it out don't mean it ain't there. Yeah, it's still there. It's still there. It's still there. This is what people will do. Go outside of their way to try to make it seem as though you crazy. Make it seem as though that you're the difficult one. That you're going outside your way just to be that person that's just hard to deal with. This is how folk act. So the servant put her out and bolted the door after her. She was wearing an ornated robe, for this was a kind of garment that the virgin daughters of the kings wore. Tamar put ashes on her head and tore the robe she was wearing. She put her hands over her head and went away, weeping loud as she went. Tamar has on her virgin robe and her garment, everything that represents that she's the princess, the king's daughter, and she's also a virgin. Now at this moment, after being put out, she tears her robe to show that she's no longer pure. She tears her robe to show that she's no longer pure. She put ashes on her head, throw her hands on top of her head in shame, and cries loud the whole way. Crying aloud the whole way. I read that part and it broke my heart. And I said, it's the tearing of the robe is what got me. To know that this was my brother that did this to me was the part that got me. It was taking the ashes and putting it on your head and throwing your hands over your head and crying. I can only imagine that type of cry, that cry of betrayal, that cry of hurt, that cry of disappointment, that cry of shame. Understand me? I've watched movies, and when I've seen when people been violated, how they will fold up in the tub, right? In the tub with the shower running on them. Understand me? And they will be scrubbing their
skin, scrubbing their skin until they start to scrub the skin off. Understand me? And all of these things. And I can only imagine how Tamar was feeling in this moment. This is your brother. Understand me? This is your blood brother. This is your father's son. And you just experienced this. And then not only did you have to experience the embarrassment, right, of walking down there, tearing your robe, understand me, tearing your robe and putting the ashes on your head. Now, as if that wasn't embarrassing enough, the actual act, you have to, in your mind, now that act is replaying itself over and over again. Now in your mind, you have that visual over and over again, that conversation over and over again. You over there trying to figure out, why didn't I just leave the bread in the kitchen? Why did I even go over there in the first place? Why didn't I, you got all of these things because now you're trying to find fault within yourself as to why that this happened the way that it happened, and why you didn't move a different type of way, and why didn't you say this and didn't say that. Now you're looking for ways to blame yourself, to hold yourself accountable for what happened to you. Is that not what I just told you guys, right? Is a what? It's a trick of the enemy. That is what? To deceive you, to trick you, to manipulate you, to bamboozle you. Understand me? This right here, this is all that this is right here. It's a way to try to trick you into owning something that don't belong to you. This don't belong to you. That shame don't belong to you. That humiliation don't belong to you. That don't belong to you. You are never responsible for somebody else's behavior. Never. You are never responsible for somebody else's behavior. Can you imagine how many people walking around right now today that's carrying the shame and the humiliation of what somebody else have done to them, suffering in silence, sitting over there in mute? I just need for y'all to write in my chat real quick. I'm done being quiet. I'm done being quiet. Understand me? It's time for me to tell my truth. It's time for me to tell my truth. I want it in my chat. Write it in bold letters. Write it in capitalized letters like you mean it. Understand me? I'm done being quiet. I'm done being quiet. It's time for me to tell my truth. Understand me? Even if my truth exposes you, even if my truth exposes the family, even if my truth ruins your reputation, even if my truth, understand me, makes you look bad, I am done being quiet. I'm not doing that no more. Understand me? I'm done suffering in silence. That's not yours to carry. It's time to hold folk accountable. It's time to be real. It's time to be honest about what it is. Because that right there, this is what this family is going through. All of this is for the sake of the representation, right? Or the reputation of the kingdom. All of this is what? All of this is for protection of the kingdom. Understand me? That's all this right here is about. This is about the reputation of the kingdom right here. So now there we are trying to let me get to it. I just got to get to it, right? So it says her brother, let me go up. Tamar put ashes on her head and tore her robe that she was wearing. She put her hands over her head and went away weeping aloud as she went. Verse 20 says, her brother Absalom said to her, has that Amnon, your brother, been with you? Remember, Mecca has 2 children by King David, right? 2 children by King David. She has Tamar and she has Absalom. One thing that stuck out to me, Lily, is how he worded this right here. He says, has Amnon your brother? Because he ain't even claiming him. What'd you say? Because he ain't even claiming him. Now, and I said, well, wait a minute, hold on a second. Wait a minute, coach, because you know you got to be thorough. You got to be thorough. Now, what's the family feud? What's the family feud? Pause. Because guess what? Amnon and Absalom are also brothers. Understand me? Because David is also his daddy as well. So why did you say your brother, he ain't claiming him? Because one, Absalom is the third son. He's the third son. Amnon is the first one. Absalom is the third son. Understand me? So which means that sibling rivalry comes in right there, because Amon was the first son, he's shown favoritism and he's going to inherit everything. And oh boy, Absalom, he's the third son, right? So he ain't as important as the first son back then in these days, right? Back in these days, all your kids wasn't getting a fair treatment. Everybody wasn't getting the same thing. So yeah, it's already, I got to look at the fact that, you know what I'm saying, you're going to inherit everything like it's something special about you. You know what I'm saying? That they out here running in behind you. But then when the rest of us come, you know, it's already that going on. So he already in his feelings already feel a certain type of way anyway. So then when I look over here, I'm like, yeah, I had to go see Heather. I had to go check that out. So then I kept reading, and as I kept reading, I see in other parts, right, as I dissect more, that he was being shown favoritism. And anytime you show favoritism within your kids, then you create that sibling rivalry, right? Anytime that you show favoritism within your kids, right, this is exactly what happened. Then you create that sibling rivalry where they don't really rock with each other as tight as they should, because mama always excuse you, daddy always excuse you, even though all kids have their own personalities and you have to deal with them all differently because they are all different people. The love and the rules and the respect all has to be the same. Understand me? The rules in the house, everything has to be the exact same still, so that you don't create that sibling rivalry or that sibling hatred one to another, because one feels like one is getting more than what the other one is getting. And this is what they are experiencing when it comes down to Amon and Absalom, right? So he ain't even claiming him. He says, your brother, have he been with you? Then he says to her, this is the part, be quiet for now, my sister. He is your brother. Be quiet for now, my sister. He is your brother. Oh man. Do you know how many people who have experienced this, and the person that comes and consoles them tell them to be quiet? Even though he's saying be quiet for now, it's just a fact of having to be quiet, having to be silent, having to not speak about what happens to you. Understand me? He says be quiet. And then I got to respect him as my brother, but he didn't respect me as his sister. I got to respect him. Wait a minute. I got to respect him and not speak about what he done to me, this wicked thing that says in the law over here in Israel that's not supposed to happen. You mean to tell me I got to be quiet and you want me to give reverence to him because he's my brother? Wait a minute. Come on now. This ain't right. While I gotta be quiet. But you have to hold on to the for now part, because Absalom is not playing around. Understand me? But he says, it hurts, because if I gotta hold on and I gotta be quiet, period, it's still gonna bother me. It's still gonna affect me mentally. It's still gonna affect me, spiritually. That thing is gonna bother me. Understand me? But she has to be quiet about it for now. She has to sit on it for now. Understand me? So let me go ahead on in. I got to go in some more. It says, it's because it's that he's your brother. Don't take this thing to heart. Oh, wait a minute, Absalom, no. As much as you my boy, but hold on. Then he says, be quiet about it because he's your brother. And don't take this thing to heart. How else am I supposed to take it? What else am I supposed to do with it? I'm telling you right now, the using the excuses of you this and you that and you own this and you own that and you was out your mind and you was crazy, all these different things of why you putting your hands on folk that you ain't got to be putting your hands on. Understand me? We tired of that. We not accepting no more excuses for people violating people. Understand me? It's time to start holding folk accountable. If you touching anybody that you ain't got no business touching, that's nieces, that's nephews, understand me, that's little sisters, I don't care if you the uncle, everybody needs to be held accountable, baby. Understand me? The uncle, the daddy, the mama, even, because some mothers, you believe it or not, it's some women that are also the same type of way and have done just as bad damage as well. Understand me? I don't show no special treatment for nobody. If this is the case, fullest extent, baby, fullest extent. This is what needs to happen. The fullest extent, take it to the top level. Understand? And got to. That's just how I feel about it. It has to. Because why in the world, again, would you do such a thing? And then you have to sit over there and be quiet while they parade around as if they ain't done nothing. While they walk around like they ain't did nothing, they ain't said nothing, and everybody just happy, happy, joy, joy, and they out there eating and celebrating and everything else. And I'm over here in isolation. I'm over here in hiding. I'm over here in shame. I'm over here in hurt. Understand me? And when I come around, I can't even come around and be comfortable. I come around and I feel awkward and I feel out of place. And sometimes your abuser, I want to be real. Can I be real just real quick? Sometimes your abuser is so cocky and so arrogant and so ego driven that even when you come around, they'll do what? They'll still try to talk to you. They'll still try to touch you. They'll still try to hug you. They'll still try to embrace you in some type of way, shape, or form. They'll still try to act like ain't no problem. What is wrong with you? Why in the world would you? That right there just whew. It's some that behave just like that. They so prideful and they feel like because you never said nothing, like they got away with it. Understand me? They'll be out there at the family function acting like ain't nothing ever happened. They'll be out there at the family cookouts like ain't nothing happened. At the family reunions like ain't nothing happened. And all the aunties and everybody will be sitting around and everybody looking at you. Understand? Looking at you and instead of telling him, hey, you ain't got no business coming here. You'll look at the nieces and everybody out there. Why y'all came out here with these short shorts? Why y'all came out here with these crop tops? Why y'all came out here and y'all know all of them gonna be out here? Then they shouldn't be out here. If I can't wear my shorts over here around my family, then where can I wear my shorts? Why my shirt got to be hanging all the way down to my knees because Uncle so-and-so can't keep his eyes and his hands to himself? That ain't got nothing to do with me. Y'all discipline the wrong folk. Y'all coming at the wrong folk. That ain't got nothing to do with me. If you knew that this is the type of person that they is, why are they here? Understand me? Why they continuously get an invite? They know I'm their niece. They know that I'm their little sister. They know that I'm the little cousin. They know this already. They ain't got no business looking at me no type of way, no how. Okay, I'm going on, but I'm just being for real. That was messy, and I did go to them people's backyard. I was in their cookouts and their family reunions. I'm gonna drink my water because it was messy, but I meant every word, baby. What? I got to come in tiptoeing around folk that you know. I got to come in and I got to tiptoe around folk. I got to come in and do all of this. Y'all acting like they not the problem. Y'all acting like the problem ain't them. I don't understand that. I'll drink the water. Just drink. Okay. Like, I don't understand that. I don't understand that at all. But you know, that also happens even in relationships as well. You the person that got cheated on, and they blame you for what happened to you. Oh, you must have not been doing something right at home. Oh, you must have not been doing this or doing that. This right here. They will, understand me, they will make the victim the villain real quick. That's the world that we live in. If you don't know your worth, if you don't know your value, then that's exactly what they will do. Understand me, you have to look folk in their face and let them know it don't matter what I was or wasn't doing at the house. That don't control their actions. Understand me, if they did what they wanted to do, that ain't had nothing to do with me. Oh yeah, you have to stand 10 toes with it. You got to look folk eyeball to eyeball, and you have to let them know, oh, everybody got a divine right of choice. They chose to do what they wanted to do. They was a willing participant in what it was that they wanted to do. And if they wanted to leave, then they could have left. Hello, somebody, and I don't want to hear none of that. You're not finna come over here and try to blame me for something that somebody did to me because of their own lack of self-control. Understand me? Don't ask me what I was doing or wasn't doing. That ain't got nothing to do with nothing. They made a decision in their life to say that's what they wanted to do. Though, yeah, you have to, yeah, I'm telling y'all, you have to really speak up for yourself. You have to utilize your voice. And when you say it, you got to say it with your whole chest. You can't be out here whispering to folk. You can't be out here, well, I didn't so. No. You have to say it and let folk know that you mean real business when you say it. One thing about me is I don't play with folk, and I don't let folk play with me, period, point blank. You're not going to hold me accountable for nothing that nobody else done did. I'm going to put you in your place expeditiously. No, you did what you wanted to do. Yeah, you did what was in you to do. Understand me. You did what you wanted to do. You did what was in you to do, because whenever the pressure is applied, that's when you get to see what's in them. Hello, somebody, what you say? Whenever the pressure is really applied is when you get to see what is in them. When that temptation really gets real, that's when you get to see what's really in them. If they're not being tempted by nothing, it's easy for them to be faithful. It's easy for them to be honest. It's easy for them to be locked in. But when they get to a place where the temptation is really out there, that's what, when the pressure is applied, you don't get to see what's inside the grape until you smash the grape. When you smash the grape, you see the inside of it, right? But you have to apply the pressure first. You don't know what type of pearl is inside of the oyster until you open up that oyster. You have to open some stuff up, and then you get to see the real nature of that thing. Understand me. I don't play with people like, no, you're not finna come over here and try to make me. Oh no, I ain't never been the type. Get somebody else to do it, baby. Get you somebody else to do it. Get you somebody else to do it. Cause playing ain't what you gonna do over here. Hello, this is right there. Playing is not the safe thing to do around these parts. Understand me. Yeah, I will make you pick your ball up and go home. Understand me. You would get your tight bike. And the way that you will be pedaling them pedals up off that playground trying to play with me won't make no sense, baby. I want you to know you will have to get on your mongoose and go. I don't care if you got a banana seat. If you got a banana seat, throw your bestie on the back. I will send you up off the playground, baby. Don't. I am not the one. I will have that scooter scooting. Do you hear? Oh yeah, not the one, baby. I'm just trying to tell you. I ain't doing it. I ain't going for it at all. I ain't going for it, Shay. I ain't going for it at all. Let's get 4 badges over there on the gram real quick. Y'all done passed y'all goal on the Book of Many Faces. We at 189.6 on TikTok, almost at 200K. Let's get 4 badges on the gram real quick. Okay, so then this is what happened. Her brother Absalom said to her, has Amnon, your brother, been with you? Be quiet for now. My sister, he is your brother. Don't take this thing to heart. And Tamar lived with her brother Absalom's house as a desolate woman, or an isolated woman, or a woman that is just in hiding, right? So she's now at her blood brother's house, right? See the difference, and I always say this to people, and they be like, I don't see a difference in between a half brother and a half sister, but I'm gonna tell you right now, I do, and I'm not being funny about it, but I really and truly do. I love all of my siblings, but there's a difference between the siblings that I share the same parent with. The level of love is completely different. The respect is completely different. The energy that we have with each other is completely different. And it's not that I love my other siblings any less. It's just that it's different with the ones that I actually share blood with. And we learned that as well, right? With the story of Joseph, right? When Joseph was over there, he had all his other brothers right there with him. But who is he looking for? He was looking for Benjamin. Benjamin and Joseph shared the same mother and father. And when his blood brother, or his other brother, I should say, because all of them were still siblings, when his brother came, the one that shared the same mother and father with him, what did he do? He gave him Benjamin far more than what he gave to everybody else. Understand me. He made sure that everything that they had, that Benjamin had, it was running over. He gave Benjamin so much that the other brothers was able to eat from what Benjamin had. Understand me. He did all of that, kept sending them back and forth over there. Why? Because I want to see my brother. When you come back, bring me my brother. Understand me. He saw his brother, and when he saw his brother, he was in tears. Thank you, Shay Shay, for the CA. I appreciate you, sweetheart. Understand me. This is how this thing rolls. I get it. Everybody is siblings. I understand that. But me, my brother, and my sister, Miko, my brother, Julia, the one I lost my brother and my sister, the ones that I share the same mother and father with, I am the only one that's left out of that group, right? So it's just me. But that hurt different for me. It's a different ball game for me, because those are my full siblings. Those are my only two full siblings. And when you say our names, you say Shamika, Leroy, and Junior. When we show up, As children, it's Shamika Leroy and Junior. Everything is us. Understand me. With my other two sisters who share the same mother and father, they have a different type of relationship. They are locked in like this together, always together, everything about them. And I don't feel no way about it. Why? Because they got the same parents. I expect for them to be closer. I expect for them to be together. That's just what it is. They grew up in the house together. They had everything, and that's fine with me, right? That's fine with me because that's how I am with my brother and my sister as well, right? So this is what I'm saying when it came down to Absalom as well. His sister then went through what he went through, and guess where she went? She went to her brother's house. The one that she shared the same mother and father with. She went to her brother's house. That says a lot about the relationship that she have with her brother, because she could have went anywhere in the world, and she went to her brother's house. And the thing about that thing set out to me so strong, because Amon, what happened at one brother's house, she knew wouldn't happen at the other. What happened at one brother's house, she knew would never have happened at the other brother's house. So much so that that's where she went to. And that's what exactly she, out of all places, understand me, this is the relationship of brothers. You would think, don't make me go get my big brother. Understand me, my brother gonna always protect me. My brother gonna always make sure that everything is good. My brother is, understand me, this is how you're supposed to feel as a little girl. Understand me, if you can't go to nobody, you should be able to go to who? To go to get my brother. If I go get my brother, understand me, oh, it's gonna go down if I have to go get my brother. This is what you would think that it was. But at her brother's house, where she's over there, and you can tell, she love her brother, because I'm up in here cooking for you. I'm bringing the food and everything for you. I'm doing everything that you need so that you can get better. And the whole time you lying, you plotting, and you scheming on me, your sister. This don't even make no sense. This right here don't even make no sense. But at this time, here she is at her other brother's house. And I know how it is to feel safe at your brother's house. I got my other brother, understand me, he has a different mother. But my other brother, I can go to his house and stay all day. I'm talking about like just be at his house. And even though we have different mothers, for some reason about this one it's different. It's my safe space. I know how she feel when she go there. I can just be at his house and I don't have to have nothing going on. And that boy gonna ride every single time, and if it got something to do with me. He's my little big brother. He's my little brother, but he's bigger. He's big now. He's a big old guy. But it's different. And this is how you should feel when you go into your brother's house. So she's in her brother's house, and she lived there as an isolated woman. When King David heard all of this, he was furious. She talking about, and he cute. Please don't tell him that, though. Please do not tell him that, because that boy, don't tell him that, Lily. That would just take him to a whole nother level. You don't even understand. And he's a chef as well, y'all. He's a chef, and he loves to cook. He is something else, though. He is cute, though. He is a cute guy. The King David heard about all of this. Y'all are funny. Y'all are funny because you made me think of Christina. Christina gonna tell me, oh, your sister was a Joan, man. I'm like, wait, what? My sister just passed away, and what you talking about? I'm posting a picture of my sister Christina talking about, oh, that's a Joan. Wait, what? When? You gotta love the chosen family. You gotta love the chosen family. If you don't do nothing else over there, we gonna have a what? It's two things we gonna have in the chosen family. If you have not signed up for my Patreon, you doing yourself a big old service. It's two things that we provide in the Patreon. That's gonna be a word and a laugh. You gonna get a word and you gonna get a laugh. We enjoy growing, evolving, celebrating. We just that type of people over there, man. You have to be in there to know. You have to really be in there to know, right? And it says when King David heard of this, he was furious. Right? So now they daddy and got whiff of what was going on. And now he's mad about what has happened, right? He upset about what has happened. Rightfully so. Because this is your son and your daughter. When you as a father, you should be ready to go over there, you know what I'm saying, and tear him every which way but loose. Because ain't no way in the world you didn't put your hand on my daughter. And yeah, first of all, ain't no way you didn't put your hand on my daughter. Secondly, ain't no way that you wrote me over into your plan. Because let's not forget, can we remember this part, right? He tricked his daddy as well. He didn't just bamboozle his sister and violate his sister. He also used his daddy in the plan. You will be amazed. Understand me. Hear this now. You will be amazed. You will be amazed how many people will use other people to work out their plan. You will be amazed how many people will use other people, understand me, to work out their plan. Because when the devil cannot get to you, he'll use the people that surround you, right? Understand me. So not only did him and his cousin sit down and concoct this plan to make you to violate his sister, because him and his cousin came up with the plan now to violate his sister, they also incorporated his daddy, and his daddy happens to be the king. Now y'all playing with everybody that's in the palace. Y'all got a lot going on inside of this palace. This is a whole lot happening. So not only did you violate my daughter, you used me to do it. So what? David is indirectly responsible for what happened. Hey, yeah. Sit back. I know what y'all saying. Y'all saying, yeah. But he didn't know. He didn't ask either. Because as a father, if you over there, I need to understand, if I'm supplying you with all these servants, you got people at your beck and call. Why is it that you need my daughter? Understand me. Why is it that you need my daughter to come and bake for you? What, you got all these cooks in here that can bake for you. Why is it that you want me to send her? Understand me. That right there just ain't make no sense for me as a father. Why didn't you not inquire about this right here? This right here just don't even make no sense to me, right? So indirectly, David is also responsible for what was happening, what has happened already to his daughter. Understand me? Because his son used him to get her over there. She was only there because David told her to go there. She was only there in that environment because her daddy told her to go over there. And even though, let me say this right here, even though she may feel like my daddy didn't know what was going on, so I can't hold him responsible. I'm sure that there's a part of her that still feels like, oh, you knew what was going on. Because after you've experienced something like that, you're going to blame everybody. You holding everybody accountable. Everybody got to go. You don't trust nobody in that whole entire equation. And not only that, David already had a reputation of being the same individual that Amnon is. Amnon is his daddy's son for sure. Their behaviors, their character, everything about them is the same. And not only that, why other reason would she not feel that way if she felt confident in saying, go to the king and surely he'll let me marry you. He'll let you go ahead and marry me. Understand me? She knew that, even though knowing that they were siblings and it was against the law. But she knew him to be a lawbreaker. Even though he was supposed to uphold the law, she also knew that my daddy is a lawbreaker. I know that, yeah, as that pastor said when I was in Rock Hill, he wasn't even a good daddy. Now, it makes all the sense in the world as to why she said he wasn't even a good daddy. She spoke a word when she said that. Because once I came back to Columbia, I went back to the story and I said, oh yeah, it's time to teach it now. Now it makes perfect sense. That's right, Lily, as to why she said he wasn't even a good daddy. Understand me? And Absalom, listen to this part. And Absalom never said a word to Amnon, neither good or bad. He hated Amnon because of how he had disgraced his sister. In other words, when it came down to Absalom say, oh, I'm standing on business. Ain't no way in the world you think that you're going to violate my sister. And you think that I'm going to be smiling and grinning up in your face. You think that you're going to do what you did to my sister. Understand me. You think you're going to do that? And you think that I'm just going to sit over here and we're going to be kumbayaing together, that we're going to be out here as the prince be doing and riding horses together and doing all this together? Nah. The Bible says he's never said another word to him, good or bad. We ain't even talking business together. Understand me. I'ma stay out your face and you stay out mine. You stay from around me and I'ma stay from around you. And I know, understand me, and you know Amon had to know that he had knew something, because why else? You know what I'm saying? If you ain't talking to me, you ain't saying nothing to me, good or bad, then you now know as well that other people know what it is that you have done. Understand me? You know that other folks know at this point too. But then again, maybe not, because again, what we said, he's David's son, and he's so arrogant, and he's so prideful, and he's so entitled. Understand me, he might just be feeling like, oh, he just got away with something, because you'll be amazed how many predators walk around here feeling like, oh, because the person that they abused never said nothing, they feel like, oh, I got away with it. Oh, I got away with it because it's never been said, it's never been brought out. So they walk around with their little chests out, right? 2 years later, Absalom's sheep shearers were at Baalan Hazard near the border of Ephraim. He invited all the king's sons to come there. Absalom went to the king and said, your servant has had shearers come. Will the king and his attendants please join me? King David talking to his son Absalom, and he says, no, my son. The king replied, all of us should not go. We would only be a burden to you. Although Absalom urged him, he still refused to go, but he gave his blessing. So in other words, Absalom then came and told them they're going to have a gathering over there with the sheep shearers and all of that. And I think that it'll be a good idea for all of us to go. King David is like, nah, all of us ain't going to go, because if all of us go, we're going to be a burden on you. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever the case is. But you have my blessings. Go ahead and do what you got to do. Go ahead on out there, handle your business, do whatever you got to do. Now, mind you, King David was furious, but we don't hear nothing about a punishment that happened to our Amon from King David. Don't you find that kind of strange, that your son violated your daughter, but then it says you're furious, but you're not furious enough to issue out any type of punishment? Well, the punishment was not issued to Amon, because him punishing Amon would tarnish the image of the kingdom. It would tarnish the fact that, right, if I was to discipline him, if I was to punish him, then everything that I work for, understand me, is going down the drain. If I was to punish him, hold him accountable for disgracing my daughter, then everything that I didn't work all this time for, all of that's going down. Understand me, when it's already going down anyway. If you look at the circumstance, if you look at what's going on in the palace, then guess what, King David? That you're not the prince, you're not the king that you thought that you was going to be anyway. Because baby, it's already going to hell in a handbasket anyhow. You're concerned about the reputation when inside of it is just as rotten to the core. You understand me? Some folk be so concerned about the reputation, about the image of it, but behind the scenes of it, it's just rotten. It's like, David, you ain't even paying attention to, hold up. Hey, make this make sense, baby. You're trying to protect something that's already going down. You're trying to, this is already going down. Now when we think about it, you said in the, okay, don't do that. Yeah, do that. Do that. Do that. Do that. I won't do that, but hold on. Wait. You said in that, you said in that palace with a boy all that time while he was throwing spears at you, and you were supposed to be in there learning about how not to be a certain type of king, only for you to become the king, and only for you to have this type of foolishness going on. So you was dodging all them arrows for nothing. At that case, wait, okay, Coach, you do too much. Listen, I just make that make sense though. You inside of there, right? You inside of there, and you got all this going on. Now the whole purpose of God putting you inside of that palace, understand the whole purpose of you to see the type of king king that you should never want to be. Ain't that something? You was in there judging the king that was in position at the moment. You in there judging him about how he running things and what he got going on inside the palace, only for you to get inside of the palace and have a complete muck being ran over there on your clock. And it ain't even with the folks on the outside in the villages. Baby, it's amongst your own children. I'm just saying, make this right here, make this make sense. I'm just saying, you have to, I just don't understand it. What did you learn while you was there? Some folk think that just because they run a great business, oh, my business is booming, everything is flourishing, everything is good, and that's just only one part of your life. That's only one part of your life. You have to understand the other part of your life is your personal life, your family life. This is why the Bible says charity starts at home. You can't just get up and be a good preacher and then go home and be a horrible parent to your children. You cannot just go in here and be a great CEO and handle all of these people over here at the office with all this gentleness, all this care, and all of this, and then go home and raise hell up inside your house. Baby, that ain't how this supposed to work. Everybody want to be a successful businessman, a successful businesswoman. But what about having a successful house? A house that's operating out of peace, out of love, out of gentleness. What about that? Okay, that's messy. That's that. I'm just saying that he sat in the palace all that time, and you would have been thinking that he would have been learning something. But yeah, it still seems like you ain't learned all that you should have been learning while you was up in there, because your children is out here doing the absolute most. Now, it says nothing about him punishing him because of the reputation. He don't want to ruin his own reputation. Thank you so much, Kira, for the CA. I appreciate you, babes. Thank you so much, man. Let's get over here. 26. So Absalom said, if not, please let my brother Amnon come with me. And the king asked him, why should he go with you? Pause. I'm on verse 26 and I'm giving you scripture for scripture. So yeah, if you tussling, you're going to have to tussle with King James, baby. Yeah. See, y'all, this ain't the fluff. This ain't the fluff that you used to. We ain't talking about, this ain't the fluff that you used to. When you want to jump and shout and all that, we going to get real, right? So he says, Absalom said, if not, please let my brother, let's stop at the my brother part. My brother Amnon, now he's claiming him. Now, wait a minute. Before he was old girl's brother. Understand me? You wasn't even claiming him. But now all of a sudden he's your brother. What are you saying? Like father, like son. What are you saying? Like father, like son. Two different situations. Same outcome. Yeah. Both of them are David's kids. Both of them are David's children, like father, like the sons. Understand me. One have David's need for the instant gratification, the lustful spirit of David, right? And now here you are over here with Absalom, and he has the revengeful spirit. Understand me. I'm going to get my get back. And even though it's been 2 years, it's been 24 months, guess what? I'm still coming for it. Because remember, when David went after the king, he had been dipping and dodging him for a very long time before he actually said, I'm about to go get my get back. I'm about to go get on you. I'm about to go do this. It was a while after that. He had been dipping and dodging him for a long time. So the same spirit that David had in that moment is the same spirit that Absalom is now operating with. The lustful spirit of David was in the son of Amnon. Understand me. So when I say like father, like son, this is exactly what I mean. Understand, these things have been passed down. They are their father's kids. The thing that stood out to me was the king asked, why should he go with you? How is it that you asking me why he should go with me, but you didn't ask why my sister had to go with him. Hello, somebody, whoa. Come here for a second. Why is it that you asking why he goes with me, but you're not asking why you sent my sister over there to him? Did you ask that question? No, you did not. Your concern is about Ammon, but your concern wasn't about Tamar. You didn't ask no questions. When he asked you to send Tamar over there to bake that bread so that he can eat it out of her hand, you sent my sister right over there, understand me, so that she can bake bread and eat it. He let him eat it out of her hand, as if you ain't got servants. Why didn't you forbid that? Why didn't you say no to that? Why didn't you let that be known that right there, that ain't happening, son? I will send over one of these other folk and you can eat out their hand all you want. But when it comes down to my daughter, that right there, that ain't happening. You ain't do that. But now you're inquiring about Ammon coming with me. This that favoritism that I was telling you about. This that favoritism that I was telling you about. You inquire about one child, but didn't inquire about the other one. Understand me? You're concerned about him and his safety, but you wasn't concerned about the safety of my sister. But David had already David knew what already took place already. And guess what? Just like these kids knew their daddy, this daddy also knew their kid. Understand me? Also knew his kids as well. This right here, he already knew this is either going to go good or it's going to go bad. But see, Absalom, he waited for 2 years to get back, right? So he's letting it all smooth out. This is why he told his sister, he says, be quiet for now. Understand me? I told y'all to hold on for that now. He says, be quiet for now. Understand me? Be quiet for now. Don't take this thing to heart, which was hard to do. Some people, when they're trying to console you, they had a wrong choice of words. We know that. We know that to be true. They ain't mean no harm by it. They trying to calm you down. They trying to love on you. They trying to make it better for you, but they just use a bad choice of words. And I want to say that that's exactly what happened with Absalom when he was talking to Tamar. It was just, he was trying to say what he was saying to calm her down, to relax her, because he had already made up his mind that vengeance is going to be mine. Oh, I'm going to venge my sister. I need for you to know that. Just relax for a second. I'm going to show you what a brother really supposed to do, right? You didn't come here because you felt safe for no reason. Your brother got you, okay? Go on in there and lay down, and you will eat, and you will sleep, and you will stay right here with me. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it, because when it comes to you, don't let it come to you. Understand me? They gonna learn this day, when it come to you, don't let it come to you. They gonna learn that this day, right? So this is what Absalom is saying. So now he's over here, and David is asking him, like, why should he go? Right? So then Absalom says in verse 27, but Absalom urged him. So he sent Ammon and the rest of the king's sons. Hear me. I want y'all to throw highlighter on. And the rest of the king's sons. He sent Ammon and the rest of the king's sons. Absalom ordered his men. Listen. When Ammon is high in spirits from drinking the wine, and I say to you, strike Ammon down and unalive him, don't be afraid. Haven't I given you this order? Be strong and be brave. Understand me. This man has a whole plan in place. And this right here is not somebody from the tribe. This is not none of the sheep shearers. This is not somebody from another country that's about to do this right here. This is children of the king. These are brothers that we are talking about. They got the same daddy, and he done already plotted and planned. Understand me. You see what I'm saying? Now, Ammon, he had a plot and he had a plan, but he wasn't the only one that was able to plot and also plan. This is the nature of David. David also had a plot and a plan. When he wanted that man's wife, guess what he did? He plotted and planned to have that man unalive so that he can have his wife. This is the nature of their daddy. These boys act just like their daddy. They are willing to go the lengths that their daddy would go. Understand me? This is what happens when you're not willing to break away from the generational curses. This is what happens when you're not willing to break out of those family traditions. This is what happens when you're not willing to break out of that mold. It is a dangerous game that you're playing. You have to be willing to break those cycles, or you're going to carry that same spirit. That's too deep. Yeah. You are, oh yeah, ain't that deep? Because some people will look at it and say, well, I understand why he done it. Oh yeah, it's a good reason of why he done it. Does not make it right. It still doesn't make it a right reason. As an excuse is just an excuse. It doesn't matter how good the excuse is. Unalivened is unalivened, period, point blank. And that's not something that you were supposed to be doing. We understand why you done it. We get why you done it. We wholeheartedly understand why you done what you done, but that does not make what you done right? Understand me? Because now you're behaving the same way your daddy and your brother behave. And guess what? And those are the people that you despise the most. Understand me? And we know that you do that because when she came in, you automatically said, oh, your brother's name. Did your brother do this right here to you? You knew this already. And this is how easy, if you're not careful, this is how you become your abuser. Okay. That's a word right there. What you say, hey, be careful not to become your abuser. You become your abuser unaware. When you become your abuser, it's not something that you are aware of. It happens out of hurt. It happens out of betrayal. It happens out of disappointment. When you experience something on that level, it makes you become that hard-hearted individual, right? This is why. Understand? And we could talk about it, right? We could talk about this. This is why they say hurt people hurt people. This is where that comes from, because he was hurt, because she was hurt. Now they're hurting other people. This cycle continues to go on. This is why you have to be willing to break that cycle, because if you're not willing to break that cycle, then that thing will go from one generation to another generation to another generation. Again, red ink right there. Be careful. Do not become your abuser, because some folk will even say, and be honest, and I can be one of those folks, I was never a cheater. Never looked at it, never wanted to do it. Always felt like it was just something that you should not do. Always looked at it my whole entire life and said, hey, look, when it comes down to stuff like this, like I would much rather just leave or much rather not deal with you. And that's because I grew up in a house that was very abusive. It was very abusive. There was a lot of stuff going on that should have never been going on. And if you was born back in the 70s and the 80s, early 90s, then y'all know what I'm talking about. That was the big rug era, right? Rug. Y'all know what I'm talking about, era right there, where everybody was hustling something, including, all of that. It was all this stuff going on at that time. So I saw a lot, and I saw the abuse that my dad, my uncles, my cousins, all of these would do to women. I saw the in and out of women all over the place. And I always said, I never want to be that individual. I never want to be that person. So much so that as I was coming up, I always promised myself that whatever relationship that I was going to be in, it was going to be perfect. It was going to be loved. It was going to be, I've always been what they would call the black sheep. If you was to talk to my siblings, they'll say the black sheep. I was always that one that's always been a lover girl. Always been a lover girl. Always was going to be committed. And I was always open. And I was always honest and transparent. So those that encountered me in my time of, I don't want to be in a relationship, because for a very long time, I was solely focused on church. I was always in church. I was always at work. And I really didn't want to deal with anybody. So during this time, I would tell people, I don't mind going out, but don't fall in love with me, because I don't want to be in love. And I would say that because I knew when I was ready to be in love, then I would be in love. But my focus was not there. If you want to hang out, if you want to kick it, then I'm cool with that. But do not try to fall in love with me, because that's not what I want. And I will always encounter these people that want to date, and then we'll date for a while, and then all of a sudden they want to be in love. Now, I just want to, and I don't want that. I don't want to be in love. I don't want you to feel like we're in love. I don't want you to feel like this is going to be more than that, because I knew that for me to be in love meant that I was going to give it my all. And I also knew the consequences, what the consequences was going to be if you played with me. Understand? I already knew what that was going to be. So it took a very long time. But when I did meet somebody and I fell in love with that individual, I'm talking about almost at first sight, right? Then fell in love with them. And the moment that they did it to me, the moment that they cheated on me, it's the moment that I showed that I was my daddy's daughter. This is how I know that you have to rid yourself of this. Understand me. This is, I knew, because again, I knew what I knew. And I knew how to do, I knew how to do it. I knew that I would be good at it. And I also knew the person that I was. So I knew that, yes, understand me. When you are somebody like me, I know me. I'm very confident in who I am, right? So I know all of this already, but I did not have the intellect or the spiritual intelligence that I have now. So back then, it was like I'm really, I'm just moving off of regular understanding of, right? I just know that I don't want nobody to play with me. So I don't want to be in a position where I have to show somebody what it feels like for me to play back, right? So I want you to be good so that I can be good. I want you to do what you're supposed to do so I can do what I need to do, and we ain't gonna have no problems. But the moment that person decided, not once, but twice, not 3 times, but just continuously with the disrespect, then it's like, okay, let me show you something. You ain't gonna like it when I play back. It ain't gonna be fun when I play back. Because see, now you want to get your ball and go home. You want to be a dog, and I told you that I can be Clifford. Big red dog. That ain't what you want. And the sad part about it is I know me to know that I'm so loved and so easy to love that they gonna love me. And you're gonna have a hard time getting them away from me. Now you're falling out with them because they won't leave me alone. They want a piece of me. But the point that I'm making is, it was never a desire of mine to be that individual. But I became my abuser because of the hurt that I felt. That's how easy it happens. And it's not something that you just want to do. It's sometimes when you're in those positions and it's like you don't understand it no other way. And I'm tired of trying to explain it. I'm tired of trying to show you through love and affection and through constantly being there and making sure. I'm tired of going that way. So let me just give it to you this way, because that's the only thing that you understand. And what I'm saying to you is, what's in you is going to come out of you. And this right here is a great example of just that. So we got it in the Bible. So I'm going to use my own life as an example, because I don't teach on nothing that I haven't experienced. So I've been there before. I've been abused, and I've also been the abuser in that situation, or been cheated on and been the cheater in that situation. So I can tell you from both sides of it that this is what it was. It was never a desire of mine, but it was also the fact of, you know what, I'm tired of this. You have to be willing to break that cycle. You have to be willing to say, I'm not going to allow you to control who I am. And if I can't deal with you in goodness and honesty and transparency, if we can't be happy together, then just leave me alone all the way together, because I'm breaking the cycle. When it comes down to me, I'm breaking that cycle. I'm getting away from that all the way together. And in this situation, they have not broken that cycle. They've decided to continue that cycle. Understand me? So now when we get right here, right? So we see that this man, that the same way his dad concocted a plan, his brother concocted a plan, now he then concocted a plan, right? So now we go to verse 29. So Absalom's men did to Amnon what Absalom had ordered. Then all the king's sons got up and mounted their mules and fled. They done came up in there. He done got all his men together. He done already told them, I don't even want y'all for 1 second to be afraid of what y'all about to do. Because y'all work for me. Y'all my men. And when I give the order, I want y'all to do exactly what I tell y'all to do, because y'all have been charged to be my men, to do exactly what I tell y'all to do. So understand, this don't fall back on y'all. This falls back on me. I'm the one that's giving the order, right? So they get up and they do it. And it says, then the king's sons, they got up and mounted their mules and they fled. Fled means they got out of there in a hurry. Once they saw what was happening up in there, once they said, oh, wait a minute, we thought we was coming coming here for one reason. We see you had a whole nother plan at play. Wait a minute, we got to get up out of here right now today. Understand me? They started wrapping up their stuff, packing it up like that lady packed up that piano over there. That man packed up that piano over on Color Purple. Time to go. They getting up out of there expeditiously. We got to leave, and we got to leave here right now. So this is what's happening. While they were on their way, the report came to David. Absalom had struck down all the king's sons. Not one of them is left. Remember, he said they jumped on them horses. They ain't get far. They jumped on the horses, but they ain't get far. They did not get far at all. Understand me? They did not get far at all. He says, while they were on the way, the report came to David. Absalom has struck down all the king's sons, and not one of them is left. Absalom went in there and he handled so much business that it ain't even make sense. Listen, again, Absalom was, if there was a place that said, don't play with me, it would say Absalom on the outside of it. If there was a place that said, don't play with me or my siblings, it's going to have Absalom outside it. And I can be honest, they would have Absalom outside it, and then it'll have Shamika Latoya Hall. That's my sister's name. And one thing she ain't play about is her siblings. I want you to know that I'm talking about the same way Absalom carried on. That's the way my sister would have carried on, just like that right there. Oh, ain't leaving nobody standing. Nobody gonna be able to tell the story. Oh, she wrecking all shop. Understand me? Understand. Absalom's name is gonna be sitting right there. Absalom took everybody out. All the king's sons, them your brothers, ain't it? Them your brothers, ain't it, Absalom? Nobody left. The king stood up, tore his clothes, and laid on the ground, and all his attendants stood by with their clothes torn. The king is distraught at this moment. The king is all over the place at this moment. The king is like, what in the world has happened? What's happened is, this is what happens when you don't punish what needs to be punished. This is what's happened. This is what happens when you think that you can just compartmentalize it. When you think that you can just sweep it up under the rug. This is what happens when you think that, oh yeah, everybody is just going to get over it. This is what happens. I need for you to understand something. Everybody ain't playing. And this is a great example of everybody ain't come here to play. Everybody ain't playing with you about their heart. Everybody's not playing with you about their life. Everybody ain't here to play the game. Understand me? And this right here is a great example of this right here. For every action, there's going to be a reaction. To think that this was going to happen to your daughter, understand me, the princess, and this is her brother Absalom. You understand? For my sister to come to my house, and when she's at my house and this right here has happened, for you to think that I'm not going to revenge it, got to be crazy. Y'all got to be out y'all mind. That's like saying that you think that I'm weak, or that I'm gullible, or that I feel like I ain't got that, I ain't got it in me. So I'm gonna show you that the same blood that run through your vein is the same blood that's also running through mine. I need for you to know that this right here, this ain't over, baby. Yeah, we playing quiet because we strategizing. We playing quiet because we're putting things into place. But but your time is going to come. It's too late now for the king to be tearing his clothes and laying down there in agony and crying out, and all of his servants. They should have been doing that when it happened the first time with Tamar. You should have had that same type of passion, you was furious, but you was not furious enough to handle the situation. You was mad, but you wasn't mad enough to go do nothing. And this is the result of you not doing nothing. This is the result of trying to play quiet or be quiet and tiptoeing around something. It's brewing. While you think that it's sitting over there, it's brewing. Just like mold is spreading quietly. Imagine it. When mold is spreading, you don't hear the mold growing, right? You ever seen mold on something? You don't hear the mold growing. You don't realize that it's molded until you pick it up or till you move something out of the way, and then you see it's in the back. It's all green and gooey, but it's quiet. That's what it's like when you're compartmentalizing pain. That's what it's like when you're compartmentalizing disappointment and hurt and shame and humiliation. Understand me, that's what it's like when you're hoarding it in the inside of you. It grows slowly, just like mold. It grows quietly, just like mold. Understand me, and it don't become a problem until what? Until it starts to smell. All of a sudden, you don't hear it, but you start to smell it. Understand me? You start to smell it. You like, what's that stench? It's something in this refrigerator that smells a little bit off. It's something in here that don't smell good. If you're from the African American community, what we say, it smell wet. Is that not what we say? We come in there and we start pulling stuff out. Oh yeah, I'm just saying. Hey, listen. When we say it smell wet, just know we in there pulling out every dirty clothes hamper. We pulling the mattress from up against the wall. If the bed is pushed up against the wall, we then flip the mattress up and we pulling everything up out of there. Baby, y'all laughing because y'all know that's what we say. We be like, it smell wet. It's something up in here and it smell wet. We looking for the sock. We looking for the washcloth. We looking for the wet towel. One of y'all got something wet up in here and we be up in there looking for it. Understand me? That's the same way we do when we up under our bathroom sink. If we open that bathroom sink and we smell something that smell what? Wet. If we smell it and it smell wet, we pulling everything from up under that bathroom sink because we about to check all around the floor and see if there's a leak up in there because something is wet. Understand me? This is how it grows. You start to smell it. But you don't know that it's a problem until the damage is done. Until it's already rolled everywhere. So everything that's in there is already sour, already spoiled, already then gone to the bad. Now you have to take all of that out. Now you have to thoroughly clean all of that. Now you gotta go get the Clorox and start mixing up the concoction, right? Because we got to spray. Yeah, we put Clorox in everything, y'all. I don't know if y'all do that, but we do, right? We gonna put that 2 caps of Clorox in everything, including that dishwater. We do not play, right? So now we in there with the Clorox and you in there scrubbing the whole entire refrigerator down. And if you anything like my sister, you can't put nothing inside the refrigerator for at least a whole 24 hours. Why? Because the scent of the Clorox is so strong up in there, strong with a K. It's so strong in there that, baby, you have to let the refrigerator air out a little bit, because I'm telling you, don't nothing would make that girl madder than for something to smell bad or to have some type of dirt on it. Like that would just send it all the way, right? So now you have to let the Clorox just process it all the way through the refrigerator. Do you feel me? Talk about my kind of cleaner, baby. I'm telling you, Saturday morning you wake up and she got all the old school music playing and all of that, and she cleaning everything from the baseboards, all the window sills and everything else. That house is getting thoroughly clean down. This is what she does. So I'm telling you, this is what happens, y'all. It spreads in your life like mold. It does it quietly. It does it silently. And you don't know that it's a problem until it's a big old problem. And if you own a house, the last thing that you want is mold in your walls. I'm telling you, because now you have to renovate that whole thing, right? You have to tear out all of those walls. I'm talking about it does big damage. I use the refrigerator, but I'm just telling you that's small, because mold can actually damage your whole entire house. And before you know it, you walk into your house and that scent of wet wood, that scent of wet whatever type of that wall stuff that they have up there, I forgot the name of the top, what they call it, but when they put it up there and they nailing your walls up, ain't nothing like the smell of that when it gets wet. And you have to go in there and rip out all of that sheetrock. That's what I'm talking about, Cook. That sheetrock don't nothing smell like wet sheetrock. Oh, baby, You talking about something that will have your whole, it ain't enough plug-ins in the world that's gonna fix it. All your clothes, your hair, and everything that's up in your house is gonna be funky, smelling just like that sheetrock. Oh yeah, that's how your life be. That funky, that nasty, that rotten, when you're holding on to these things. You have to handle a problem when it's a problem. Handle an issue when it is an issue. A problem or an issue not handled will forever be one. It doesn't go away because you compartmentalize it. It doesn't go away because you don't talk about it. It don't go away because you try to block it out or bolt the door, as Armand would say. That's not going to fix it. That's not going to handle the issue. You have to clean it all the way out. You have to empty the refrigerator. You have to tear down the wall. You have to pull out everything from up under the sink. You have to expose the problem. Where's the issue? You have to correct the issue before building back up the wall. You have to correct the issue before restocking the refrigerator. You have to correct the issue before putting your stuff back up under the sink. These are things that you have to do. I'm stopping right there on today, and I'm going to get into verse 32. I'm going to get back into that later. I'm going to get into that on Monday. I just didn't want to be so far behind on our story. I'm going to get into the rest of this because we got some more. We got 32 through 39 to go, right? So we're going to get into the rest of that on Monday because y'all know we will have Sunday service on tomorrow. Sunday service will be as scheduled on tomorrow. We will be starting at 11:45 for praise and worship. Praise and worship will start at 11:45. I will be live on TikTok. It will be on TikTok. TikTok only is where we will be on tomorrow morning, right? And we will be there at 11:45 for praise and worship. Immediately at 12 o'clock, we will go directly into our message. We will go directly into our message, and we will be on from 12 until 1 p.m. From 12 until 1 p.m. And what I need you guys to do is, if you guys have not subscribed to my Patreon, I need y'all to make sure y'all click the link in the bios on all these platforms where it says Linktree Street. Stroll down to where it says Mental Health Support Group. Get in there, select that $15 tier. Select that tier because without selecting that tier, you will not be able to unlock any of the classes. Get in there and get subscribed. If you have not subscribed to my TikTok, make sure you do so. Same thing on the Book of Many Faces and on the Gram. Make sure you hit that subscription button because your subscription gives you morning devotion every single day, and it also gives you Monday night boot camp. So you guys are getting a 4-week class for the cost of your subscription. That $5.99 or whatever it is for your subscription on the Gram or on the on the Book of Many Faces or on TikTok, that subscription is getting you devotion every single morning. Every single morning, no days off. You starting your class. You starting your day off with what? You got your prayer, you got your scripture, you got your meditation, and you have your positive affirmations. And it's also covering your Monday night boot camp class. That right there is a steal all by itself. You're getting both of those things for your subscription. So please make sure. And our boot camp class, it starts at 7 p.m. on Monday. 7 p.m. every single Monday, right? If you have not experienced one of my boot camp classes, you are already doing yourself a disservice because those boot camp classes are very, very informative. Man, we are all the way in school when it comes down to boot camp. Make sure you bring your 3-ring binder, your black ink pen, your red ink pen, and your highlighter because when I say it's informative, it is very informative. And also I provide at the end of each class a Q&A time. So if any information you did not understand, any information that you guys have questions and comments on, or even feedback, that is the time at the end of class. Nobody walks away from this class. If you have any questions or comments, I open up the floor on all platforms to allow you guys to come on screen and share whatever it is that you want to share. You know what I mean? And it's absolutely amazing. So yes, please make sure you do me a favor and Make sure you do me a favor and subscribe on there. I got y'all homework assignment. It's going to be dropping. Crystal didn't text me already. No, November homework assignment will be dropping inside of the Patreon later on today. Just give me a minute and I got y'all covered with that. So homework assignment is definitely going to be dropping. Y'all make sure y'all got my reflection reports over there too. While y'all reminding me, get that reflection report going. I love you guys so much, man. Every single day that you wake up and you put 10 toes to the ground, I want you to sweat yourself. Tell yourself how beautiful you are and how much you love you, because it's no love like self-love, and you first have got to love yourself way before you're able to love anybody else. Of course, it's your favorite online motivational speaker, life coach, and evangelist. It's your girl, Street Poet, and I will see you guys soon. I love you guys so much, man. Y'all be good.